Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Your Nifty Guy. I hope all of you are doing well. What a session! Absolute textbook price action. And once again, the market respected the exact levels we discussed yesterday. This is what happens when you come prepared with a plan instead of chasing candles. If you followed yesterday's setup, today was not about guessing, it was about executing. And that's the edge we are building here every single day. Now, in today's video, we are going to break down this weekly expiry in detail, where the real moves happened, how the traps were created, and where the smart money actually made their positions. Because expiry days are never random, they are designed. And more importantly, we are going to build a precise, no nonsense plan for tomorrow, levels, scenarios, and exactly what you should be focusing on so you are ready before the market even opens. But before we jump in, if you are someone who wants to understand price action the right way and stay one step ahead of the market, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because I show up here every single day with a clear trade plan for Nifty. Now, let's get straight into the charts and decode today's expiry. We'll jump to the straight 5 minutes chart. Now, markets actually opened with a gap down. So, the number one scenario that we had discussed about the day high trap setup, wherein we take a short position, did not happen. Uh, Markets opened with a gap down, took a support. If you look exactly at the fib levels that we had pre-marked on our charts, formed a double bottom. Although I was a bit reluctant, but then the urge to not having traded since a lot of days actually gets to each one of us, and I'm not uh, wary to it. And so I took this first trade after a long time in Nifty. I entered at the break of this particular high. Now, the same momentum that we are seeing, or the same kind of price action that we are seeing on the charts, was not visible in the options. And that is something that we had also discussed in the video yesterday, that we need to keep a keen eye on VIX and what is it doing. And if you can see till around the 10 a.m. mark, wherein VIX had fallen down out here, and throughout the day, VIX had continuously dropped. So that is something which I had clearly mentioned in yesterday's video, that if we expect a up move in the market, the VIX is bound to go down technically and as per textbook, and that is what exactly what happened. So this particular trade I entered at the break of this particular high. Although if you look at the options chart, the day this particular candle which is out here in the options chart, it would have been somewhere much high above wherein, because if you see, this new high was created out here, but in options this high was the candle high was up quite higher, bit higher up. And this was a lower high despite prices being forming a higher high at 925, a higher swing, but in the options chart the same was not the case. And this is where I still entered with very minimal quantities, and in just 20 minutes out here I got out uh, almost at cost, right? If you see out here, we can see there is a bit of a gap, some difference, that we can see that okay, we might have made some profits, but then uh, out there it was a complete uh, because of the VIX. Oh, absolutely, we got out at cost. And this was the only trade that I had taken, because post this particular trade again, there was a down move which came in, which was a trap. Now, I had clearly mentioned in yesterday's video that we are looking at the price action since the last 3 days, right? We are not looking at any short entries till the time we are below this particular level. Now, one of the members of the community had messaged me wherein he took some short trades, and he got trapped on the wrong side. And I had also mentioned him that the structure is not at all bearish, and we should not look at taking any short trades for now. But nonetheless, again, it is the market is different to different people, and that is what they try to do, is trade as per their view of the markets. But then I had clearly mentioned that we are not taking any short trades till the time we are coming back below this particular level. Now, although out here markets did form a double bottom, double top, if you look closely, market did form a double top, but then this was just a trap, wherein the major swing was out here. And until unless this swing was taken out, we are still in a higher high, higher low formation. And if you see out here, after a brief manipulation, market continued the up move in a higher high, higher low formation. And ultimately, markets broke out above the 23,000 resistance that also we had marked and discussed, and also above this particular trend line at 130. The expiry special setup that we see now, there was huge amount of call writing at the 23,000 round number levels, which also there was a lot of people in big quantities exiting this particular call writing out here, which gave a good enough move out here. But then if we look at that particular setup based on the open interest only past 2 p.m. Post which again markets came down a little bit, retested the trend line, consolidated for a while, and then again continued the up move till around the end of the day. So this is why I in the intro I had mentioned that this was a good textbook setup, and whether or not we made money today or not, that is secondary. But then following the system, following the preparation that we are doing in advance is what matters the most. Of course, the VIX went against us, and as option buyers, we could not make good money. But then, of course, if you instead of buying calls, if you would have shorted puts, you could have made amazing money, right? But then that is something which all depends on the style of trader that you are. So this was it about today's expiry, how it exactly followed the levels that we had created despite a gap down opening. You can see took supports from exactly the level that we had pre-marked on our charts, and that is the reason why we need to prepare ourselves well in advance so that we can take the markets in the right way. When the candles are forming in the live market, your emotions can take a downturn, and maybe you are not able to think straight. But then if you are predetermined with set of all conditions that can happen with your pre-marked levels, of course you will be in a much better way, in a much better position to take controlled and emotion free decisions while in the live market. And that is the reason why I come up every single day out here. I missed some days in between, and that was intentional. Like I had also mentioned in those videos, the markets were extremely volatile, and it did not want to come out and give a plan so that you guys are intentionally looking out for trading opportunities, because those are the days, those were the days wherein it was advised to actually stay away from the markets for some time, right? So yeah, that was about today. Now for tomorrow, again, I am a bit apprehensive about the trading tomorrow. The simple reason being the geopolitical tensions in the world, and Mr. Trump with his deadline to Iran, which I believe, as per the deadline that he has given, is uh, around 6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, Indian time. So it is 8 p.m. EST, which if you do the adjustment, Indian time would be around 6:30 a.m. plus minus 1 hour, giving given daylight savings. Adjustment. So yes, tomorrow the market, I don't think technical analysis will be working a lot. A lot will be dependent on how it goes, about the things between the escalation that has happened with regards to the deadline given by Mr. Trump and Iran not adhering to them. So Gift Nifty, I believe, is already in some downward trajectory, and there are news, multiple news all over about the Kharg Island, which is again one of the major oil export ports for Iran, that has been attacked. There has been multiple attacks over there. Air defenses activated over Tehran, fighter planes flying on low altitude over the city, right? So let's see how it goes. Maybe because there's still time right now. We are around 10:30 p.m. at night. The deadline is at 6:30 a.m. Maybe Iran turns around and maybe opens the strait, and then nothing happens. Or if they do, and it is not another empty threats by Mr. Trump, and he's not extending the deadline. And if he eventually goes ahead with the attack, I do not know. So right now, these things are extremely crucial. And actually, it is not in any of us's control. So it is better to be careful with what we can do and the controllables which are within our measure, and act accordingly. So still, we will be making our plan. But again, my advice will be keep your trading limited for tomorrow. Uh, Get up a little bit early, observe what is happening in the global scenario, and then maybe we take a controlled and informed decision. But on the daily time frame, yes, we have broken out above this particular trend line or this particular channel. Prices have moved out now. Is it just a trap of inviting buyers today, and then based on the negative news or negative sentiment tomorrow, all these people who would have created or taken long entries overnight would be trapped, and we are again back inside that this particular channel, and we continue downwards, and then we form another base, maybe some sideways action. If ultimately this is the bottom that we are looking at for the short period, uh, that is something which will be clear tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a important day in terms of the price action. I am hoping for de-escalation and world peace. That comes primary, right? Markets, profits, trading, everything is secondary. uh, there's a lot of disturbances happening, and the consequences of which maybe people who do not follow macroeconomics do not understand as of now. But then this, the whatever is happening around the world, even if India is not directly impacted by it, uh, the long term effects of this will be seen in some time. So yeah, let's just hope that things get de-escalated, and there is no reason for worry tomorrow. But then for the sake of our analysis, what we'll do is we'll use this again, same on the hourly. So this, I'm taking this particular swing after the down, after the gap down opening and prices eventually moving down and then going up. So this is a swing which was created. So basically today's range, and we have marked the 0.5 to 0.618 zone. As of now, I believe we things do not change. I believe there will be a gap down opening only, but let's see what it is. So yes, again, tomorrow's basic price plan of action will be try to stay away from the markets if you can. If not, if we are retesting this trend line, we are retesting these levels. This is where we are looking at going long. If things are de-escalated, there is a ceasefire reached, maybe markets opens with a flattish or a gap up opening as well. So in that particular scenario, we can look at this particular trade. Uh, Also, if we have to retest this particular trend line which is there, although we have done it on the smaller time frame already, but then there might be a scenario wherein if we open flat, these scenarios are very far-fetched, keeping in mind the kind of situation we are in. But then still, if we see this particular trade setup also form, wherein we see a good bullish candle at the start, and then the low of that candle gets taken out, we can take a scalp on the short side as well. Once again, although India VIX was down around 3% today, we are still very close to 25 mark, and it is still a very high uh, levels. These are still very high levels, and if there is further compression or crash in the India VIX, as option buyers, we might not see a lot of opportunities. So yes, keep an eye on that as well. And of course, if we are below these levels and we see some negative price action with a pullback, we can take a short trade only and only below this. Uh, but yeah, I really hope for the best tomorrow. So yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. Clear levels, clear mindset, and zero confusion. Now remember, the market doesn't reward prediction, it rewards preparation and execution. If your plan is strong, you don't need luck, you just need discipline. Trade what you see, not what you feel. And most importantly, protect your capital, because opportunities come every day, but only if you are still in the game. If this video added value, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Your Nifty Guy, and share it with someone who's serious about trading, not gambling. I'll see you tomorrow again with a fresh plan. Till then, stay disciplined, stay sharp, and keep compounding. Small, consistent wins build big wealth. Good night and happy trading.